Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, April 27th, 2021. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's NBA, NHL, and Major League Baseball games and look ahead to today's games in each sport. I'll do my latest NFL mock draft, go over the latest news and notes, and my best bet of the day. All right, we're going to start with the NBA as we will go over the results from what was a loaded slate last night, and then we will look ahead to the games for today. Pistons over the Hawks 186. The Pistons are 19-43. Atlanta 34-28. Jeremy Grant had 18 for the Pistons, and Bogdan Bogdanovic had 17 for Atlanta. Lakers over the Magic 114-103. The Lakers 36-25. Orlando 18-43. Dennis Schroeder had 21 points and 10 assists. Chuma Okeke had 18 for Orlando. 76ers over the Thunder 121-90. Sixers 40-21. OKC 20-41. Joel Embiid at 21 points. And Ty Jerome had 22 for OKC. Suns over the Knicks 118-110. The Suns 43-18. The Knicks 34-28. Devin Booker 33 points for the Suns, and Derrick Rose led the Knicks in scoring with 20. He actually had 22, 6, and 6. Great game for Derrick Rose. Spurs over the Wizards 146-143 in overtime as the Wizards' winning streak also comes to an end. San Antonio 31-29, Washington 27-34. DeMar DeRozan 37 points and 10 assists. Bradley Beal 45 points to lead Washington. Raptors over the Cavaliers 112-96. Toronto 26-35. Cleveland 21-40. Pascal Siakam had 25 points for Toronto, and Isaac Okoro had 20 for Cleveland. Bulls over the Heat 110-102. So his best bet comes through very easily. That got to 212. That was 207. Chicago 26-35. Big win for them. Miami 32-30. Nikola Vucevic 24 points to lead the Bulls. Jimmy Butler 33-8 boards to lead Miami. Timberwolves over the Jazz 105-104. The Timberwolves are 18-44. Utah 44-17. D'Angelo Russell had 27 points and 12 assists. Mike Conley had 26 for Utah. Pelicans over the Clippers 120-103. Pelicans 27-34. The Clippers 43-20. Zion Williamson had 23 points. Terrence Mann had 17. Nuggets over the Grizzlies 120-96. The Nuggets 40-21. Memphis 31-29. Michael Porter Jr., great game, 31 points for Denver. John Morant 27 points and 6 assists for Memphis. Kings over the Mavericks 113-106. The Kings 25-36. Dallas 33-27. Rashawn Holmes 24 points for Sacramento, and Luka Doncic had 24.7 boards and 8 assists. All right. Tonight's window at 7 o'clock, you have the Thunder against the Celtics. I project the Celtics as an 18-point favorite in this game without Gilgeous-Alexander, and the total 221. Meanwhile, on FanDuel, the numbers are Boston by 10.5 total to 15.5. I'm going to lay the 10.5. Oklahoma City's clearly trying to lose games here. And they're on the second of a back-to-back too. NBA TV, the Bucks and the Hornets. I'm at Milwaukee 17 total 226.5. That's obviously because of the injuries. And it's 9 and 222.5. I'm going to lay the 9 with Milwaukee. Trailblazers Pacers. I'm at Portland 1.5 total 228.5. Well, it's Portland 5 total 236. Oof, this is a hard one. I'm going to go with the under, just to be a little different. That total is way too high. Indiana totals as well as Portland totals have been overinflated lately. But I'm going to go under 236. 7:30, the Nets at the Raptors. I'm at Brooklyn 9 total 228. Meanwhile, it's Brooklyn 6.5 total 232.5. I'm going to go with another under. No James Harden again. I know Durant's there, but I'm going to go with another under. Oh, wait, no Boucher for Toronto, too. You got to count that in there. So Brooklyn 10 is actually the line. Now because of that move, I don't know where to go. But anyway, I'm going to stick with my guns and go under 232.5. 9 o'clock, the Timberwolves and the Rockets. I'm at Minnesota 1.5 total 225.5. Meanwhile, Minnesota by 2 total 230. Another under. Minnesota's offense and Houston's offense are both really bad. And then TNT tonight, 9:30. Do you have the Mavs at the Warriors? I'm at Dallas 2.5 total 224. Meanwhile, it's Golden State 2.5 total 225.5. I'm going to take Dallas in the 2.5 and plus 116 straight up. I think Luka and Kristaps will both play. Obviously, Stephen Curry's on the other side, and I understand why Golden State has the minus by their names. And it's just the public. They are obsessed with Curry. But the second and third best players on the court, or first and third best players on the court, depending on how you feel about Porzingis, belong to Dallas. So I'm going to take Dallas plus the 2.5 and plus 116 on the money line. Alrighty then. Now we'll move on to hockey. We'll go over those results from yesterday, and we will look ahead to what should be a busy window for tonight. Canadiens over the Flames 2-1. Montreal is 21-17-9. Calgary 21-24-3. Tyler Toffoli was the number one star of the game with the goal. Mark Giordano, number 2 star with no points but played well. Shea Weber, the number 3 star with the goal. Senators over the Canucks 2-1. Ottawa 18-27-4. Vancouver 19-20-3. Number 3 star of the game didn't have a point but played well. Thomas Chabot, number 2 star of the game with 2 assists. Brady Tkachuk. And the number 1 star of the game with 25 saves on 26 shots, Marcus Högberg. Blues over the Avalanche 4-1. St. Louis is 21-19-6. Colorado 31-11-4. Number 3 started game with the goal, Braden Shen. Number 2 started game with 31 saves on 32 shots, Jordan Binghamton. And the number 1 started game with a goal and 2 assists, David Perron. Stars over the Hurricanes 4-3 in overtime on a game winner by Jamie Benn. Dallas 21-15-2. Carolina 31-10-7. The number 3 started game with 2 assists, Morgan Geekie. The number 2 started game with the goal, Dennis Garanov. And the number 1 started the game with the goal and 3 assists, Jamie Benn. Preds over the Panthers 4-1. The Preds are 27-21-2. Florida 31-14-5. The number 3 started game with the goal, Mikael Granlund. The number 2 started game with 39 saves on 40 shots, Juicy Saros. And the number 1 started the game with the goal and an assist, Eric Holla. Oilers over the Jets 6-1. The Oilers are 28-16-2. Winnipeg 27-18-3. The number 3 started game with the goal, Darnell Nurse. Number 2 started game with 36 saves on 37 shots, Mike Smith. And the number 1 started game with a hat trick and an assist, the runaway favorite for the Hart Trophy, Connor McDavid. Kings over the Ducks 4-1. The Kings are 18-22-6. Anaheim 14-28-7. The number 3 started game with the goal, Mikey Anderson. The number 2 started game with an assist, Anze Kopitar. And the number 1 started game with 21 saves on 22 shots, Jonathan Quick. Sharks over the Coyotes 6-4. Another Coyotes over. San Jose's 19-24-5. Arizona 21-23-5. The number 3 started game with the goal, Alexander Barbanoff. The number 2 started game with the 2 goals and the assist, Jacob Triron. And the number 1 started game with the goal and 3 assists, Evander Kane. All right, big window tonight. 7 o'clock, you have the Sabres against the Rangers. A huge game, probably the biggest game of the season for the Rangers, because this is a really nice opportunity for them to make things super interesting in the East Division. They are a heavy favorite, minus 335. Buffalo's plus 270, over under 6.5, overs plus 104, unders minus 128. Sabres plus 1F is plus 105. Rangers minus 1F is minus 126. This is a tough one here because everything is so juiced. Even Rangers in regulation is minus 200. So, for the sake of the podcast, I'm going to do a juice play with the Rangers puck line minus 1F and minus 126. The Rangers have been playing great hockey lately. can sneak their way potentially into a playoff spot if things break their way. So I'm going to go with the Rangers minus 1.5 and minus 126 against Buffalo. NBCSN, the Islanders and the Capitals. The Caps are minus 118. The Islanders are even money. Over-unders 5.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Islanders plus 1.5 is minus 280. The Caps minus 1.5 is plus 225. The Islanders, where things stand right now, are 4 back of the Penguins for first and 3 back of the Capitals for second. I'm going to say the Islanders win it outright on the road. They're due for a big win, so I'm going to go with the Islanders even money on the road against Washington. Flyers, Devils. The Flyers minus 142. The Devils are plus 120. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 118. Flyers minus 1.5 is plus 180. Devils plus 1.5 is minus 220. Another hard call, but I'm going to go with the over 6.5. Do I feel good about it? No. But the case is that this is like a 4-3 game, maybe a 5-3 game. And Devils overs have been weirdly hitting lately. Bruins, Penguins from Pittsburgh. The Pens are minus 110. The Bruins are minus 106. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 108. The Bruins plus 1.5 is minus 300. The Penguins minus 1.5 is plus 240. So the Penguins are favored on the puck line and on the money line slightly. I'm going to go Penguins money line at minus 110. They're currently in first place, and they're trying to hold on to it. I bet this team to win the division at 3-1 about, I want to say, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they're now a plus 120 favorite to win this division. So I got great value on the Penguins. And I'm going to take a minus 110 at home tonight against the Bruins to hold the stranglehold on first and get the Rangers within 2 of the Bruins for the last playoff spot in the East Division. The Red Wings and the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets are minus 146. The Red Wings are plus 124. Over under 5.5. Overs plus 116. Unders minus 142. The Red Wings plus 1.5 is minus 235. Columbus minus 1.5 is plus 190. I'm going Detroit money line plus 124. They've been playing decently. They're about to go over on their point total. I re-listened to the podcast I did with my buddy Steve back in January when we did the over-unders for the point totals. We both went under on Detroit. Detroit can go over tonight with the win. I'm going to take a stance and go against the play we gave out the under. So I'm going to take the Red Wings plus 124 against Columbus. The Lightning and the Blue Jackets at 8 o'clock. I'm sorry, the Lightning and the Blackhawks. Oops. The Lightning are ridiculous, minus 198. The Blackhawks are plus 166. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 130. Unders plus 106. Lightning minus 1.5 is plus 134. Chicago plus 1.5 is minus 162. You know what? Underdog special going with Chicago. I know I've been weirdly picking them on the podcast a lot lately. Actually, no, never mind. They're so far back. They're about to get eliminated, but never mind. Take that underdog pick back. I'm going to go with Tampa regulation minus 125. I think that Tampa just wins and holds on regulation. I just don't see this going to OT. I didn't realize that Chicago was that far back. So I guess Lightning just ended in regulation. Panthers, Predators. The Panthers minus 118. The Preds are even money. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 128. Unders plus 104. Panthers minus 1.5 is plus 225. Nashville plus 1.5 is minus 280. I'm going to go with the Predators at even money here. I think that they win again. They're red hot. I don't trust this Florida team. They're not playing well right now. I think Tampa passes them for second and potentially could steal the division. I'm going to go with Nashville as they try to pull away from the Stars for the last playoff spot. And speaking of the Stars, they're up next against the Hurricanes at 8:30. The Stars are plus 108. The Canes are minus 126. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 102. Unders minus 120. Hurricanes minus 1.5 is plus 215. The Stars plus 1.5 is minus 265. I'm going to go with the over 5.5 at minus 102. I think that these two teams will battle it out. And I think this will be a 4-2. Empty netter picks the over. It's going over 5.5 at minus 102. All right, now we'll move on to Major League Baseball from last night as we will go over the results. And then we will look ahead to today's slate of games. Royals over the Tigers 3-2. The Royals are 14-7. Detroit 7-16. Brad Keller to win. Spencer Turnbull to loss, and Josh Stallman the stave. Carl Santana homered in this game. Brad Keller 6 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, ERA of 9. Turnbull 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 3.27. Indians over the Twins 5-3-10 on a walk-off 2-run home run by Jordan Luplow. Cleveland 10-11. They're looking like they're turning a good corner. Minnesota dismal 7-14. Wow. A lot of teams. We're going to get to another American League team that's been very disappointing this year too. But wow, I didn't realize that the Twins were 7-14. Getting the win was Emmanuel Clace. He's 2-1, and the loss Alex Colombi's 1-3. Luplow, Jose Ramirez hit the game-tying home run in the bottom of the 8th. And then Brent Rooker homered for Minnesota. Braves over the Cubs 8-7. The Braves 10-12. Chicago 10-12. Charlie Morton the win. Brandon Workman the loss. Will Smith the save. Chris Bryant hit a grand slam that tied the game for the Cubs in the top of the third. Dansby Swanson homered in the bottom of the third that gave them the lead. Willie Contreras hit a home run in the top of the 7th. Freddie Freeman also homered. Troy Morton 5 of the third, 4 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA 4.76. Zach Davies 3 2/3, 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, ERA dismal 9.47. Orioles over the Yankees 4-2. The Orioles are 10-12. The Yankees are 9-13. Matt Harvey to win. He's 2-1. Davey Garcia to loss. He's 0-1. And getting the save for the Orioles, Cesar Valdez, who's been brilliant for them. Cedric Mullins homered twice in this game for Baltimore. Matt Harvey actually pitched really well. 6 innings, 3 hits, and a run, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 4.26. Davey Garcia, not so much. 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, ERA 4.5. I was right about the under as my pick, though, in this game, that's for sure. The A's over the Rays 2-1. The A's 15-8. Tampa 11-12. Sean Manaea the win. He's 3-1. Rich Hill the loss 1-1. Lou Trevino gets his third save of the year. Sean Murphy homered in this game for Oakland to give them a 2-1 lead. Sean Manaea 5 innings, 4 hits, and a run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA 2.83. Rich Hill 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, ERA 7.25. Marlins over the the Brewers 8-0. This was an upset I predicted, but I didn't think it'd go down like this. Miami 10-12, Milwaukee 13-9. Trevor Rogers win, he's 3-1. Corbin Burns lost, he's 2-2. Corbin Burns was due for a stinker, man. Corey Dickerson homered, and so did Gary Cooper. Trevor Rogers 6 innings, 6 hits, no runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts, ERA 1.29. He was fabulous. Corbin Burns 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, no walks, 9 strikeouts, ERA 1.53. Phillies over the Cardinals 2-1. The Phillies 11-11, so are the Cardinals. Zach Wheeler to win, he's 2-2. Adam Wainwright the loss, he's 0-3. Hector Neris gets his 4th save of the year. Rhys Hoskins homered twice. He accounted for both runs for Philly. Zach Wheeler 8 innings, hit and a run, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts, ERA 3.13. So a one-hitter for Zach Wheeler. Meanwhile, Adam Wainwright, the dreaded complete game loss. 6 innings, 2 runs, 8 strikeouts, no outs. He pitched well, but ultimately not well enough. And then the lone hit of this game was a pinch hit. The lone run for the Cardinals was a run by Matt Carper off of a pinch hit walk. Dylan Carlson scored the run on an RBI ground out. So Zach Wheeler had a no-hitter, looks like, going into the 9th inning. Angels over the Rangers 9-4. The Angels are 11-10. Texas 9-14. Shohei Ohtani to win 1-0. Jordan Lyles lost. He's 1-2. Nate Lau, Justin Upton, Albert Pujols, and Jose Iglesias all homer for their respective teams. And Shohei Ohtani did forego the DH. Joe Madden did pull the trigger on it. I know he did it on the Sunday night baseball game against the White Sox earlier in the season, so he did it again here. Otani, 5 innings straight, 4 runs, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts, ERA 3.29. Jordan Lyles, 2 2/3, 10 hits, 7 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, ERA 6.75. Astros over the Mariners 5-2. The Astros 11-11. Seattle 13-10. Jose Urquidy's 1-2. He got the win. Justin Sheffield lost. He's 1-2. Ryan Presley gets a second save. So Jose Altuve comes back from COVID protocol and delivers. But no one on the Astros homered. Although it didn't matter. They won. Kyle Lewis and Kyle Seager homered for Seattle. Urquidy, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, ERA 4.67. Sheffield, 5 in the third, 12 hits, 4 runs, a walk, 4 strikeouts, ERA 5.32. Giants over the Rockies, 12-0. They went over by themselves. San Francisco, 15-8. Colorado, 8-14. Anthony DeSclafani the win. Austin Gomber the loss. Austin Gomber really wet the bed here. Buster Posey was the lone Giants player to hit a home run in this game. DeSclafani, a complete game shutout, 3 hits, a walk, 9 strikeouts, ERA 1.5. Gomber, an inning and 2/3, 7 hits, 9 runs, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, ERA 6.65. And the Reds over the Dodgers, 5-3-10. The Reds 10-12, Dodgers 15-8. Getting the win for Cincinnati. TJ Antone in the loss, Kenley Jansen. Corey Seager at the game-tying home run in the bottom of the 7th. And Jesse Winker at the go-ahead home run in the top of the 10th. Tyler Mahle was good. 5 innings, 5 hits, and a run, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, ERA 1.75. Julio Urias, 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, ERA 3.23. All right, looking ahead to today's game, 6 o'clock, you have the Twins and the Indians. Kenta Maeda and Aaron Savali. Savali was okay his last time out against the Yankees. He's a -106 dog. The Twins are -110, over under 8.5. Over's -108, under's -112. Twins -1.5 is +150. Indians +1.5 is -182. I'm going to go with the Indians as a short home dog. They're playing well right now. They could have won a couple of those Yankees games, but coming off 2 straight, make it 3 straight. I'm going to go with the Indians -106 against the Twins. 6:30, the Royals and the Pirates. Jacob Junis and Tyler Anderson. Both guys have been okay. Royals -110, Pirates -106, over under 8. -110 in each way. Royals +1.5 is -162. Or vice versa. -1.5 +162. Pirates +1.5 is -196. I'm going to go with the Royals as on the money line here, -110. They're playing great right now. Best record in the AL, so I'm going to go with the Royals -110 against the Pirates, who are 11-11, amazingly enough. 7 o'clock, you have the Yankees and the Orioles. Corey Kluber and Bruce Zimmerman. The Yankees are -184. The Orioles are +154, over under 9.5. Over's -118, under's -104. Yankees -1.5 is -122. The Orioles +1.5 is +102. Both these guys have been terrible this year. But I'm going to go with the under. Maybe this is the bounce back spot for Corey Kluber. But I am not laying it with the Yankees, and I'm not taking the Orioles either. But, like I said, both these guys stink. Zimmerman's actually been a little bit better than Kluber, amazingly enough. I'm going to go under 9.5. This could be a 5-4 win for either team. 5-3 can work, too. Or this could be a blowout either way, too. Nationals, Blue Jays, Max Scherzer and Trent Thornton. Both these guys have been really good so far this year. Nats are -116. The Jays are -102. Over under 8.5. Over's -118. Under's -104. Nats -1.5 is +136. Blue Jays +1.5 is -164. I'm going to go with the under 8.5. I think Max Scherzer pitches a gem here. The AL East is a mush right now between all 5 teams, quite frankly. But I'm going to go under 8.5 and -104. The Red Sox and the Mets. Garrett Richards and David Peterson. Oof. The Mets are -154. The Red Sox are +130. Over under 8.5. Over's -112. Under's -110. Red Sox +1.5 is -156. Mets +1.5 is +130. I'm going to go with the over 8.5 at minus 112. I think that this total should be in the double digits, so I'm going to go over 8.5 at minus 112. I really wish it was DeGrom against the Red Sox offense. That would have been a more fun matchup, but it's not. A's, Rays, Frankie Montas and Michael Wacha. The A's are minus 110. The Rays are minus 108. Over under 8. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. The A's minus 1.5 is plus 150. The Rays plus 1.5 is minus 182. I'm going to lay it with Oakland at minus 110. I think they're going to go on a little bit of another run here. Michael Wacha's not been good so far. Neither is Frankie Montas. But I like the A's at that number. 720 of the Cubs and the Braves. Trevor Williams and Ian Anderson. The Braves are minus 174. The Cubs are plus 146. Over under 8.5. Minus 110 each way. The Cubs plus 1.5 is minus 152. The Braves minus 1.5 is plus 126. I'm going to go over 8.5. I feel like every time these two teams play, they go over and they put up offensive shows. So I'm going to continue that little trend here. 7:30, the Marlins and the Brewers. Daniel Castano and Adrian Hauser. The Brewers are minus 162. The Marlins are plus 136. Over under 8. Overs minus 108. Unders minus 112. The Marlins plus 1.5 is minus 152. The Brewers minus 1.5 is plus 126. I'm going to go over 8 at minus 108. Hauser showed some regression in his last start. I don't really love Castano, so I'm going to go over 8 minus 108. 7:45, you have the Phillies and the Cardinals. Zach Eflin and Carlos Martinez. Eflin's been really good for Philadelphia this year. Martinez has stunk. The Phillies and the Cardinals are each minus 108. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. The Phillies minus 1.5 is plus 155. The Cards plus 1.5 is minus 188. I'm going to go with the Phillies as a road pick'em at minus 108 against the Cardinals. It's a bet on Zach Eflin continuing his great pitching, and Carlos Martinez has not been good. And the Phillies, by the way, like I said, are favored on the run line as well. I almost said the puck line. Oops. 8 o'clock, you have the Angels and the Rangers. Jose Quintana and Mike Foltynewicz. Neither of these guys have been good so far this year. Angels are minus 154. The Rangers are plus 130. Over under 9. Minus 110 each way. Angels minus 1.5 is plus 102. The Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 122. I'm going to go with the over 9. I think that both of these teams are going to score a lot of runs. Both these pitchers are not very good, so I'm going to go over 9. The Mariners and the Astros. Marco Gonzalez and Christian Javier. The Astros are minus 200. The Mariners are plus 168. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 108. Unders minus 112. The Mariners plus 1.5 is minus 125. The Astros minus 1.5 is plus 104. I'm going to go Mariners first 5 at plus 152. I think it's a safer bet than pulling the trigger on them outright. I like Marco Gonzalez. I think that he can pitch better. So I'm going to take the Mariners in the first 5. Tigers, White Sox, Jose Urena and Lucas Giolito. The Nationals are minus 270. The Tigers are plus 220. Over under 8, minus 110 each way. The Tigers plus 1.5 is plus 102. The White Sox minus 1.5 is minus 122. Giolito is underachieved so far this year. I think that he could turn it on a little bit. I'm going to go under 8. This is a good spot for Giolito to get right. So I'm going to go get right Lucas Giolito under 8, minus 110. 9:30 of the Padres and the Diamondbacks. Chris Paddock and Merrill Kelly. The Padres are minus 146. The D-backs are plus 124. Over under 9. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Padres minus 1.5 is plus 114. The Diamondbacks plus 1.5 is minus 137. I'm going to go over 9 at minus 115. Merrill Kelly has not been the same pitcher as he was his rookie season. Merrill Kelly's not been good. So I'm going to go over 9 at minus 115. 9:45, the Rockies and the Giants. Chichi Gonzalez and Aaron Sanchez. Anibal Sanchez has been awesome this year. The Giants are minus 180. The Rockies are plus 152. Over under 8. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 108. The Rockies plus 1.5 is minus 140. The Giants minus 1.5 is plus 116. And Chichi Gonzalez hasn't been bad either, but I think this is where he regrets. I think you might see something similar as we did with Austin Gumber last night, so I'm going to go over 8 at minus 112. And at 10 o'clock, you have the Reds and the Dodgers. Jeff Hoffman and Walker Buehler. Jeff Hoffman, I'm surprised, has been decent so far this year. He's a over 2-1 underdog. The Dodgers are ridiculous, minus 250, over under 7.5, minus 110 each way. Reds plus 1.5 is minus 106. The Dodgers minus 1.5 is minus 113. I'm going to go over 7.5 and minus 110. I think this could be the regression start for Jeff Hoffman. Walker Buehler has been really good this year, too, but I'm going to go over 7.5. Maybe the bullpens give up some runs. I would go Reds and over for my plays, but I'm going to just take the over to be safe here. Next, I'm going to do my latest NFL mock draft. I'm doing one every day on the show this week because the draft is 2 days from today, which is Thursday. So, my 8th mock draft. Without further ado, here we go. Number 1, Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, quarterback of Clemson. Like I said, this is about as slam dunk as we've seen in a long time. This should really be a match made in heaven with Urban Meyer and Trevor Lawrence. Number 2, the New York Jets, Zach Wilson, quarterback BYU. This seemed like a foregone conclusion for a while now. Number 3, the San Francisco 49ers, Mac Jones, quarterback Alabama. It's either going to be Jones, Justin Fields, or Trey Lance. It'd be a stunner if it's not one of the 3. I'll surely be a little stunned if it's Trey Lance. But to me, it's either going to be Fields or Mac Jones. And now I'm feeling Jones, although it should be Fields. Number 4, the Atlanta Falcons, Kyle Pitts, tight end, Florida. Kyle Pitts is awesome. This should not what Atlanta should do. I think they should trade down, quite frankly. But Kyle Pitts, I think would be a fine player for the Falcons as they try to extend Matt Ryan's window. Number 5 is the Cincinnati Bengals. I've been taking Penny Sewell, the offensive tackle from Oregon. I like Sewell. He's a really good player. I saw a theory about the Chargers potentially trading up for him Victoria Night with Justin Herbert. That'd be pretty cool. I think Herbert would like that, but I don't see it. The Bengals badly need protection for Joe Burrow, and this is a match made in heaven. Number 6, the Miami Dolphins. From the Philadelphia Eagles, Jamar Chase, wide receiver, LSU. Tua Tagovailoa badly needs weapons on offense, and they land a stud here with Chase. He opted out last year, which worries some GMs, but his potential is really hard to pass up. 7, the Detroit Lions, Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, Alabama. Detroit should absolutely trade down here, as a team should go up and take a quarterback. They'll get a lot in return, as they should start to look to build for the future. And I think that they could potentially get Waddle if they trade down, or another caliber of player like Devontae Smith. But Waddle's a really good talent, and he would give Jared Goff a much-needed weapon there in Detroit. Number 8, the Carolina Panthers, Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle, Northwestern. The Panthers have a lot of choices here. They can go defense and take a corner, or they can go with the tackle or receiver. And here I have them taking the tackle in Slater, who many people really like because of his versatility. Number 9, the Denver Broncos, Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State. John Elway should do cartwheels if this is the selection here. I love Justin Fields. To me, he's the second best quarterback in the draft. Number 10, the Dallas Cowboys, Patrick Surtain, the second, cornerback, Alabama. This has been the universally mocked pick for the Dallas Cowboys for some time now. They need help in the secondary, especially at the cornerback position. As Surtain could come in and finally replace the production left behind by Byron Jones. 11, the New York Football Giants, Devontae Smith, wide receiver, Alabama. This would be a tremendous pick for the Giants. The Giants are another team that should consider trading down, but I think that they're pretty closer than people may realize, especially if they take a Devontae Smith or Rashawn Slater. Obviously, Daniel Jones has a lot to prove. So that's why Devontae Smith here would make a lot of sense. Number 12, Philadelphia Eagles from the San Francisco 49ers via the Miami Dolphins. J.C. Horn, cornerback, South Carolina. With the big three receivers off the board, the Eagles take another position of need in the cornerback position. Horn I've always liked because he's always really showed off against good SEC competition in the past in college. Number 13, Los Angeles Chargers, Christian Darrisaw, offensive tackle, Virginia Tech. Great pick for the Chargers. I like Darrisaw a lot. He opted out last year, which could hurt his stock. But Justin Herbert needs the protection. I think that Darrisaw would be the right choice. 14, the Minnesota Vikings, Kwity Paye, defensive end, Michigan. The Vikings can go with one of their two lines, and I think they're going to go with the defensive line. Questions surrounding Danielle Hunter's future with the team, and they already lost Everson Griffin, so Paye here makes sense. 15, the New England Patriots, Trey Lance, quarterback, North Dakota State. I think the Patriots are a trade-up candidate for a quarterback, whether it's Lance Fields or even Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones is the best fit for New England, although Trey Lance here would make a lot of sense as well. I think that the Patriots are very close to potentially being that contender again. That's what makes the Justin Fields possibility here very intriguing. But if they want a project, I think Lance would be worth it for Bill Belichick. Because I think Belichick gets a lot out of players like this from smaller schools. 16, the Arizona Cardinals, Elijah Vera Tucker, offensive tackle, USC. This would be a very solid pick for the Arizona Cardinals, who can use some line help to protect Kyler Murray. With the recent retirement of Marcus Gilbert, Vera Tucker can come in and replace him and show some versatility. On 17, Las Vegas Raiders, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, linebacker, Notre Dame. This would be a solid selection for John Gruden and company as they need help on defense. Gus Bradley would really like this player. Number 18, the Miami Dolphins, Najee Harris, running back, Alabama. I would not love this pick, but Miami's trying to go for it. So I understand the pick here of Harris, but I don't really love it per se, as they have needs on defense that they have to address. 19, the Washington Professional Football Team, Micah Parsons, outside linebacker, Penn State. This would be yet another major steal for the Washington Professional Football Team as they make a solid pass rush even better here. What can hold Parsons back is his character issues, which I know some teams have some concerns on. Number 20, the Chicago Bears, Caleb Farley, cornerback, Virginia Tech. This would be a solid pick for the Bears, who have options with this pick to fill a lot of voids they have. Farley opted out a year ago and had back surgery, which causes concerns for some teams. Number 21, the Indianapolis Colts, Tevin Jenkins, offensive tackle, Oklahoma State. This would be a logical pick for the Colts with the retirement of Anthony Costanzo. Jenkins is somebody that really has good footwork and moves well in space. Number 22, the Tennessee Titans, Azeez Ojulari, defensive end, Georgia. This would be a really good pick for the Titans, who need pass rush help. Bud Dupree can't do it alone. Number 23, the New York Football Jets from the Seattle Seahawks, Tavon Moorrig, safety, TCU. The Jets have a lot of holes on the roster, so they could go literally anywhere with this pick, other than quarterback, obviously. Moorrig and Marcus May would make a really nice combination for the Jets. Number 24, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Jason Oweh, defensive end, outside linebacker, Penn State. I think this would be a nice pick for the Steelers, who need some help on their front seven, replacing the departed Bud Dupree, as Oweh provides versatility that the team lacks, and obviously an in-state player as well. Number 25, the Jacksonville Jaguars, Wyatt Davis, offensive tackle, Ohio State. I think this would be a major reach for the Jaguars despite the need on the line. But this pick also would make sense because of the ties here with Davis and Urban Meyer from Ohio State. 26, Cleveland Browns, Christian Barmore, defensive tackle, Alabama. The Browns are a team that do not have many holes on the roster. Barmore is somebody that would bolster their interior of their defensive line and help Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney get their sacks. 27, the Baltimore Ravens. Jalen Phillips, defensive end, Miami. This would be a solid pick for the Ravens, depending on whether Phillips remains on the field or not from a health standpoint. Pass rush is a need for the Ravens, with the departures of Yannick Ngakoue and Matt Judon, which makes this pick realistic. 28, the New Orleans Saints. Greg Newsome, cornerback, Northwestern. Newsome, you can make a case would be a steal at this point, considering people are projecting Newsome to go in the mid to high teens and the low 20s. His overall skill set is what makes him a attractive pick. 29, the Green Bay Packers. Rondell Moore, wide receiver, Purdue. The Packers finally get Aaron Rodgers a weapon in the first round. Moore is someone that I felt was underrated because of the big three receivers and because of his inconsistencies in college. But he does check all the boxes in terms of what teams are looking for in players. Number 30, the Buffalo Bills. Asante Samuel Jr., cornerback, Florida State. The Bills to be a trade-down candidate due to their lack of needs and teams in the top of the second round potentially trading up back into the first round. Samuel Jr. is someone who I feel was underrated in school, and him and Trey White would be a nice duo. 31, the Baltimore Ravens from the Kansas City Chiefs. Alex Leatherwood, offensive tackle guard, Alabama. With the trading of Orlando Brown, the Ravens replaced Brown with the pick here that they get from the Chiefs in the deal. Weatherwood is a plug-and-play guy who's versatile, and you can make a case you should go higher than this. 32, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Gregory Rousseau, defensive end, Miami. 6 months ago, folks looked at Rousseau as a top 10 pick, and boy, has he fallen. The Bucs brought the band back together to get the best quarterback of all time. He's eighth ring, but a few of their defensive linemen are set to be free agents in a year, so this pick would make a lot of sense. Alrighty, now I'm going to go over my latest news and notes for the day. Something came out just now about the draft. GMs are split on Caleb Farley, and because of his injury history, maybe he falls out of the first round. You never know. The 49ers had a press conference. They said there's no guarantee on Jimmy Garoppolo's future. John Lynch said that social media is not affecting decisions. Oof. Doesn't that tell you Mac Jones or Trey Lance? Shanahan, we like 5 guys at number 3. And what do I tell you this is? Lying season. My friend Nick Costos of You Better You Bet, who's been on the show before, always calls this lying season. And speaking of Mac Jones, is who Shanahan wants, but might listen to the scouting department's choice of Trey Lance. So it's looking like Jones or Lance for the number 3 pick. And Jones is minus 305 to go to the Niners, as Fields is 10-1, which is absolutely wild. I talked about the Falcons and Julio Jones yesterday, as the Falcons GM says they have to listen to calls from other teams because of their difficult cap situation. If somebody misses out on a wide receiver in the draft, they can go out and potentially trade assets for Julio Jones. I don't think he's going to get released. He's too good of a player to get released. But I could see teams trading a lot for Julio. David Price is on the injured list with a hamstring strain for the Dodgers. He really hasn't done much this year. John Wall's out for the season after a hamstring tweak. Chris Dunn made his season debut against the Pistons yesterday. The play-in games are expected to stay, as the NBA expects an easy approval to make the new play-in tournament permanent, which I would really like. That makes more meaningful games in the NBA, more teams potentially in the postseason. And obviously, if you lose the game, you're back in the lottery, which is the other wrinkle of this. So you really can't tank the play-in game. I think you're a moron to tank the play-in game. And we talked about Frank Vogel, the contract extension with the Lakers. Noah Hannafin's out for the season for the Calgary Flames with a shoulder injury. He will require season-ending shoulder surgery, which is a big loss for the Calgary Flames. Obviously, they're really not going anywhere this year, but Still a big loss. And then Paul Maurice announces that Nikolaj Ehlers will miss the remainder of the regular season and is hopeful for his return in the postseason. Obviously, Maurice has been injured, and they're hoping he'll be back for the playoffs. And one more, Rockies general manager Jeff Bridich stepped down after 17 years with the team, as the team will look for an interim GM for the rest of the year. He got fleeced in the Nolan Arenado deal. He was fleeced in a bunch of other deals. I'm surprised this guy wasn't fired, but the loyalty of this organization, and we really were thinking he'd get fired last year, but he did not. So instead he resigns, and the Rockies will be looking for a new general manager. Last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. I won my best bet yesterday with the over in the Heat Bulls game. There are a couple things that I do like on the window tonight, and all the sports actually. The Royals went to minus 120. I was gonna pull the trigger on Kansas City. Maybe I'll look to the NBA for my best bet again. That's where I normally thrive with this. And I'm going to go under 239 between the Blazers and the Pacers. That's ridiculous. That is one of the more ridiculous, ludicrous totals I've ever seen. I project this 228.5. There's a big discrepancy. I am going to lay a unit and a half on under 239 between the Pacers and the Blazers. All right, so that's it for the show today. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything from the NBA, the NHL, Major League Baseball, looking ahead to tomorrow's games. I'll have another mock draft for you. I'll preview tomorrow night's episode of The Masked Singer, which is the top six. So that's going to be fun. And my best bet for you guys, as well as all the latest news and notes around the world of sports and pop culture. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.